So last night I had my Azure Standard pickup. The kids unloaded most of it this morning, and I'm getting ready to put it away. But I thought I'd let you take a look at some of the things that you're able to get from Azure Standard. I usually buy a lot of things in bulk from there. You can buy things in smaller quantities, but I tend to buy in bigger quantities because number one, it's less expensive, and I like to, well, especially with a big family, you know, we need to have more than just 6 cans of something if I'm actually going to buy canned goods, or, you know, one little bottle of dishwasher detergent or whatever.
Little bag of craisins.
Yeah, one little bag of craisins or whatever. You know, we really go through things, and I try really hard to keep a stockpile of certain things, and I try really hard to make sure we don't run out of it. So anyway, let me just start this by showing you some of the things that I purchase, and I'll explain a little bit about kind of how I handle our systems. Okay, first of all, this is a 25-pound bag of pinto beans. If I'm buying beans, I buy all kinds of my beans from Azure. I think the biggest bag size they sell is a 25-pound bag of beans. And usually a 25-pound bag of beans will fit into one bucket. So I have, I'll show you in just a little bit, I have a lot of different buckets, each with a different kind of beans in it. When that bucket starts getting a little bit low, I go ahead and make sure I buy another bag. If I had the room, and I don't right this minute, but there are certain beans that I use a lot of, pinto beans being one of them. And I would definitely make sure I had 2 buckets of pinto beans so that when I finish one bucket, I know that I have a backup bucket, and I will go ahead and order another 25-pound bag. So I know that I always have at least one full bucket on hand. All right, next it's cranberry season. So I ordered, that says 5 pounds of cranberries. They came frozen, and actually I think I got 2 of those, but the kids, of course, got those out of the car last night and put them into the freezer. Next is Azure makes their own line of cleaning products, and I've been really happy with those. I bought another bucket of laundry powder, as well as another bucket of dishwasher detergent. And again, I haven't run out of either of these. These are just backups to my initial stock pile. Actually, for the dishwasher detergent, I did initially buy a, what is this, 8-pound container, and I may have 2 of those, but I just fill those up out of the bucket and keep those down here in my drawer for the dishwasher. I also buy their Smiley Suds dish soap in bucket sizes, and that's I didn't purchase that this time, but I've already got at least one more bucket of that stashed. Then smaller things that I buy, they usually package in, well, they'll do what they call a repack, and they'll take all those smaller things and put them into one box. So this is a box that they repack, and the label is upside down, but if you can read upside down, it says repack, and it also says chill. So this was, I guess, some refrigerated stuff. Sometimes they do refrigerate things that I don't typically refrigerate, but we're going to open this and see what it is. Needless to say, this is not, what I ordered is not Lamb's Seasoned Crinkled Slices Southern Style Recipe. They do reuse boxes, or maybe even get boxes, because I've seen like a box of Arby's fries before come into my house. So they may recycle boxes from other locations and use those to repackage things.
Let us see what it is.
Okay, so, yep, I buy my oils like this. This one is, what is this? This is avocado oil. I buy olive oil also. Extract, lemon extract, I was running low on that. Oh yeah, that's the kids' favorite, dried cranberries. So I will, that's a 5-pound bag, I believe. Yes, that is a 5-pound bag. I usually purchase at least one of those. A pound of ginger, organic ginger, which yes I do usually keep that in the fridge, and it is still cold. Let's get this put away. Hopefully I'll be growing that soon and not have to buy it anymore. Another thing of cranberries, dried cranberries. And yes, I do usually buy 10 pounds of those at a time. I don't think it comes in a bigger container, so I just buy multiple bags of that. All right, yep, that's the end of that box. Thank you, Nathaniel. All right, now let me just show you in various places in my house where I'm storing these things.
No!
So you can see here on this shelf where I have a lot of gallon containers of oils, another avocado oil, molasses, another avocado oil. That one needs to be in the front. Some white wine vinegar. I use that a lot in canning. And that's just cheap apple cider vinegar that I use for things. I also purchase in bulk, although not from Azure Standard, organic maple syrup. And there's a lot of white vinegar in there too that I keep on hand. Okay, so that's some. In here though, this is the laundry room and this place is a mess. So Azure also makes an oxygen powered bleach, like an OxyClean kind of product. I buy that in a bucket. And it's also where I store my almost empty bucket of laundry detergent there. And then we keep our separate stash of what we're working out of, so we're not opening a bucket every time. We keep that in a container up here on the counter. So that's right there. Again, that way that keeps us from having to constantly open up a bucket, close the bucket back up, etc., etc. In my utility room, I keep more of stuff that I'm storing, not really our working kind of stuff. So like up in my pantry, I'll keep a bucket of oats and a bucket of wheat and a bucket of white wheat and a bucket of sugar, stuff like that. All our backups are down here in the utility room. So this pile here is actually several empty buckets. All of these here on the top are empty. And some on the bottom are full. Like this is a bucket of wheat. This is a bucket of popcorn. I think down on the bottom there's a bucket of sugar maybe. Here is a bucket of wheat that I have not gotten into a bucket yet. I think that's because when I ordered it, I thought I had enough buckets to store the wheat in, but turns out for a 50-pound bag of wheat, I need one full bucket plus probably about a half of another, and I didn't have that half, so that's why it's still sitting in the bag. I also purchased things like coconut flour from Azure. I have purchased in the past, that's black-eyed peas. What's in this? I managed to get here some gamma lids for some other buckets that I have. This is spelt that I have purchased from them in the past. Another, I'm not sure if that's a 25-pound bag. I've got quinoa flour that I've purchased. Down here, this is a bag of, can't see that very well because of the lighting, but that's a 25-pound bag of pasta that I had purchased. And all of these buckets that are back in there are full of different beans or popcorns, or I've also purchased a bunch of dried carrots and celery for soup making, etc., etc. Up here, I've got sunflower seeds, xylitol, Himalayan salt.
And clean eggs.
All right, you brought in some clean eggs. Great.
4.
Thank you. All right, put them where the clean eggs go.
Yep. Oh, and first I have to show you. They're super clean. This one
It does look super clean. So I guess we can put it in to our limed
And
eggs.
this one?
Yep. As you can see, like I've got a gallon container of limed eggs there. So that's probably where these super clean eggs are gonna go.
This one. And the last but not least.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. They actually laid in the next box.
Well, I think that means they like their nesting boxes as long as they're available to be used. One other thing that I love having is these number 10 cans of tomato sauce, organic tomato sauce that Azure used to carry. Unfortunately, it was discontinued, and I managed to buy a bunch of it before they didn't have it anymore. But I definitely like to have that on hand because we don't harvest as many tomatoes as we would like, and even though I have a source in town that I purchase a lot of organic tomatoes from and make a lot of sauce, it's never enough for our family. So I do buy a lot of organic tomato sauce, and then we also use that in making our own barbecue sauce. I'd like to do some ketchup, but I haven't done that yet. Various stuff like that. That's mostly what I have purchased from Azure Standard. I also purchase a lot of my spices in bulk, but I don't get it from them. I'm part of a local food group, or kind of a food co-op, where we purchase, we go together to make large orders of from various companies of spices. Sometimes it's honey, sometimes, well, that's where I get the maple syrup. Anyway, so my spices, this is celery seed, but I usually purchase this from Frontier Co-op. They have a lot of really good quality stuff, and so once a month we usually have a group that puts in an order, and I will purchase any bulk spices that we need then. And of course, those are just stored in glass containers instead of in plastic. And, you know, again, I try to make sure that we don't run out of those spices. Right now, that's kind of in a lot of disarray. I need to do some organizing of that, because we certainly could run out of something, because I don't have them all in one location. I could get that figured out.
Where did you eat?
Down here on the bottom is where I keep our stash that we use on a pretty regular basis. Here's white wheat. The red lid is red wheat. In the very back there, those are rolled oats. And I think there's some sugar back there behind the red wheat. That's not what I pull out, you know, when I need a cup of oats or whatever. I have bigger containers in my cabinets over here. Let's find the right cabinet where we do keep the oats. Here, the brown sugar, the craisins, and there's a lot missing from there. Over here we have almond flour, some erythritol monk fruit based sweetener, grits in the back, etc., etc. So that's what I'm working out of all the time, but I keep in the pantry buckets that I can just easily refill, because when I use oats to make oatmeal, we usually use 4 to 5 cups of oats just for one meal. So, you know, that plastic Tupperware container that I have the oats in, you know, that might get me through 2 meals worth of oats, but I make sure that that stays, when it's getting low, it gets filled up immediately, so that it's always easily available, and we're not always having to go fumbling through buckets trying to get the ingredients out that we need. But that's it on the bulk buying for right now. Nicholas is going to get my trees planted for me today, those cherry trees that we bought. So we're up here just kind of laying it out real quick.
It's what, 4 cherries?
I think it's 4, yep.
4 cherry trees.
All right, so I believe there's 1 of one kind, and the other 3 are a different kind. So Royal Crimson,
Today we are planting trees.
No. Good girl.
Action.
Alright, so I finished digging the hole. It's a little funny, but it'll work. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put some of the dirt back in about halfway. And once we do that, we'll put the tree out. Actually start putting the tree in.
All right, let's do it. Hey, Eritrea! No!
What's wrong, girl? Hey, so. She's such a sweet girl right there. Okay. So now that we got about halfway in there now.
We start putting more dirt in. Woohoo!
Alright, Isaac, hold that right there.
All right.
And you behave.
That's good. What?
Hi guys, so today I'm going to fill up the pinto bean container. So yep, I'm gonna bring y'all along with me. So here's the bag of pinto beans, and I'm just gonna open this. So here's this thing on the side. Here's a bucket of pinto beans. Okay, so now we're gonna get the bag, pour it, and there we go. Okay. So, looks like that. It's almost filled, but not completely filled. Okay. It should be good. I'm gonna have to ask my mom about the rest of these. So now, I'm just gonna... Oh, man. It's okay. Gonna have to ask my mom about the rest of those, but now, I'm just gonna put this lid on. Assuming this will come on and go up. It's so full. I don't know if it will. Okay, stuffed. And now I'm gonna just put the bucket back. And then it's back on the shelf. We're just gonna turn it to where you can see pinto beans on it. And yeah.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll.
So now we're gonna soak the beans.
Alright, the shop is totally ashamed.
What?
water in these, and then we soak them, and then they get soft. And then you cook them, and then they get even more soft. And then you season them up, and you make them into refried beans. Alright, so that's how that goes.
Turn this. I'm just gonna let that cover the whole, all the beans. Okay. It's good. No! Okay. Get over here. I'm there. And I'm gonna move this off the rack. Can you use this to clean?
On busy nights like tonight, I am really grateful that I have some home canned meals in the utility room, in the pantry, whatever you want to call it. I canned a bunch of this white chicken chili up a while back. We haven't tried it yet, so I don't really know how much we're going to like this, but we're generally pretty capable of doctoring it up to our liking, and we're going to give it a try tonight. Love to hear that sound.
It's done.
Got a cow in labor. Not sure who this is. Doesn't have a great big bag. Do you think it's Summer? What is she doing? Like sidestepping or something? Well, I'm really glad that I started this soup earlier and that had decided to just have a canned product for dinner because Charlie gave me a call while I was working on editing a video and he said, "Come out here, a cow's being born." So sure enough, we just went outside and watched a new calf being born. And of course it was getting dark, so I wasn't able to get it on video as well as I would have liked. I did get a little bit of video after the cow was born. But of course I missed the good stuff. Anyway, exciting times. So glad that I'm able to come inside and dinner's ready on the stove.